Welcome to Parascension Radio, bringing you new perspective for your spiritual evolution. So get ready and welcome your host, Solana.
Tie. Sorry. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for Parascension Life. Um, I definitely am excited again because Fort Huachuca was a very interesting place for me. So I'm going to read all about Parascension Life Chapter 3, The Ghost of Fort Huachuca, Part 2, tonight. And then we're going to do a little questionnaire afterwards, and then a little exercise in connecting. Um, and then, what are you saying, Brian? Yeah, Mom, we are going to make a rack of spare ribs. I answered you in the text, but we'll have that conversation later. But you can go read your text. That's funny. Ribs sound good, can I just say? And I know you know how to make them, so. But in any case, go read your text. And in any case, for all of you watching, and if you are over in the group page, please come into the event because, like I was saying, Facebook, in their wisdom, has created two chat rooms for one live event. So there's two chat rooms. So if you're on the group page and watching, we cannot see your text. Brian just sent me a text. We cannot see your chat, and you cannot see ours. You can see me talking, but you cannot see our chat. So come into the event, and you can chat with us in there. And so I hope everyone is doing well tonight and ready to take in this next chapter of Parascension Life. Um, and again, I definitely have felt so much energy. When I was living there, I didn't have great descriptive for it because I didn't know I didn't know some of the words and stuff. So it's interesting to go back and to write it out and see how it went. But definitely reading it as an adult, I might stumble just because it's written. Yeah, I experienced it, and but it's crazy though when you are reading out loud experiences you had, because you're also experiencing them as you're reading it out loud. Does that make sense? And that's what happens to me. So I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but well, again, you have to just see how it flows, and but it's funny for me. So I just wanted to let you know, give you that heads up, because yeah, it's funny for me. So in any case, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and get going on reading this. And again, I wish I had a screen share so that I could share this with you as I'm reading along. But once again, I couldn't do it. So I am going to just get started, and of course I just ask you to bear along with me, right? In any case, let's go. All right, so Fort Huachuca, the ghost of Fort Huachuca, part two. And so we will begin. It happened again last night. It was a different type of ghost than what had been visiting at night. It was a dark mass, a shadow. At first, all I saw was a dark outline of what looked like a shadow of a man. Without much of a form, I couldn't see a shape or a body, just a dark shadow. This dark shadow moved from the bedroom door over to my sister's bed, disappearing as if it were under the blanket with her. No scream or sound came from her side of the room, so I went back to sleep as I thought it went away. Then I felt something move up on my bed. I pulled the blankets over my head, not wanting to see it up close. Not even the tent was to save me this night. I could feel something crawling up on the bed. It moved itself under the blankets from my feet, up and over my entire body. I began to shiver. I had never felt so much fear. I had tried to scream out, but no voice. I tried to move my arms and legs, but I was paralyzed. I was being held down by this dark, massive shadow. My mind was racing with horrible images, bloody bodies, arms and legs thrown around like garbage. Men and women, children alike, were all blown to pieces. I was frozen in fear. I could hear myself screaming in my head. Why isn't the sound coming out? This must be a dream, as my mind tried to rationalize this violation of my body, mind, and soul. I started screaming at myself, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" thinking this must be a dream. Please wake up. Just as I thought, I can't take this anymore. Wake up! Wake up! The images left my mind, but the shadow mass was still holding me down. Free of those images, I tried to break loose. Feeling movement in my legs, the shadowy figure released its grip and then flung up off of me, up onto the ceiling above my bed. It then slithered toward the window. I could see the excuse me. I could see the dark figure better now, bloated, looking like a tick that just had a full fill of blood. Its body was flat and up against the ceiling, and wider than when the shadow first appeared. With what looked like a tail, it whipped from left to right as it disappeared into the darkness out of sight. "What the heck was that all about?" I said out loud. But then, as if nothing had just happened, I fell right back to sleep. The next morning I asked my sister if she had seen anything. "Did you wake up during the night last night?" "No," she said, looking at me as if I were crazy. "Okay, I was just wondering. Geez," thinking to myself, it must have been a dream. No need in pushing the issue, so I turned my attention back to my breakfast. It was almost time to leave for school. Living on the army base meant we walked to school. All the kids walked, as it was just a few streets over and no buses were available. We always walked to school with these twin boys, Richard and Randall, who lived next door. They were in the same grade as me. Identical twins, both had blue eyes and blonde hair. They were nice to me and my sisters. I had an issue with dyslexia and a speech impediment. In my speech, I couldn't pronounce my R's, so I went to a different classroom. But they acted like my big brothers and always walked me to my class. Crossing the main road to the school, Richie whispered to me, "Hey, let's skip class today." I said, "What do you mean, skip class?" A term I'd never heard before. "You know, ditch school and, I don't know, go into town or something." I was really confused by Richie, but Richie assured me that it would be fine. They wouldn't even miss us. We can go into town, look around, and be back before recess. Overhearing our conversation, Randy expressed his concerns. "I'm not going with you. You're going to get caught before you even get off the base. You better not go, Cher. He's going to get you in trouble. Better get her to class on time, Richard." This master plan was coming from an 8-year-old boy, using words and expressions I had never even considered before. So of course I said, "Of course, sounds like it could be fun. But how do we get past the guards at the gate?" I couldn't believe the words coming out of my mouth. I was worried we would get in trouble, but for some reason, instead of turning into the schoolyard and listening to Randy, we waited for him and my sisters to enter the school building. We were telling them to go ahead, we'll catch up, and we turned around and walked away. I was so scared but naive, thinking he wouldn't steer me wrong or hurt me. "How are we going to get past the guards?" I asked again as we made our way behind the commander's house. "Follow me," Richie said with ease as he walked beyond the pool and onto a path leading up the hillside. "Have you done this before? How do you know about this path?" Now I'm asking questions, thinking I might have made a mistake by coming back here with him. "Yeah, me and Randy come this way all the time. We can stash our school bags over here or behind these bushes." We hid our bags and started to walk up the path. As Richie walked ahead of me, he started telling me about the path that leads all the way to town. It goes beyond the guard's view from the gate. It was a way the enlisted men would get around after curfew. He overheard his father telling his mother that the enlisted men needed a way to release some tension without any problems from the base's MPs. "Isn't this against the rules?" Doesn't your father worry about the commander finding out that they are using this house for cover? I mean, it's happening right under his nose. Now I'm chatty all of a sudden, as I needed to know more about these late night acts of treason. My father said the commander knows. He lets it happen, as some rules do not apply to all servicemen. Look, this path goes all the way into town. So if we see anyone else walking on it, we have to duck and hide, Richie said as he swung around as if to warn me to scout out a place to run and hide. Where are we going to hide? There's nothing but small trees and cactus. Looking around to scan the area. I guess I can be a tree, I said and laughed, joking with Richie. I moved behind one of the little branches of the juniper tree, placing my arms around the swirling branches. I yelled out, Bet you can't see me. Just then I heard a voice in my ear say, I can see you. Turning slowly in the direction of the voice, a man came into view. Covered in blood and dressed in tattered, dirty clothing, he was standing right next to me. Trying not to alert Richie, I gasped as I took it all in. He was very thin, missing half his face. It looked as though he had been shot and it blew off the left side of his head. I called over to Richie. Hey, do you see anyone else on the path? Looking my way and then up ahead of the path, Richie called back to me. No, nothing. Why, did you hear or see someone? Realizing Richie was not seeing the bloody man standing near me, I yelled back, No, nothing over here. I then backed slowly away from the juniper tree and the scrawny man, back to the path with Richie. I looked back and the man was gone. Sounding very knowledgeable about this pathway, Richie looks at me and says, Let's get moving. Don't want to stay in one place too long. Better chance of getting caught that way. Well, then lead the way, Mr. Richie. Walking just behind Richie, I started to see an outline around him. At first it looked like a smoky cream color, but changed into a gray with black lining in the outer rim that formed his body. I said, What are you thinking about? Having never seen these colors before, I had no idea why I asked him that question, but his answer was even more shocking. I was just thinking about this fire truck I saw at the store. It's a matchbox, Merryweather fire engine, that's colored metal flake red. We should make that our first stop. I can show you the whole collection. Okay, that sounds cool. You really know your matchbox, don't you? I tried to keep him talking. The colors started flickering around him as he talked about this fire truck. The more he talked about it, the more I wanted to see it. I needed to understand why he wanted it so badly. The path we were walking on started to bend towards the main road as we got closer to town. We're going to have to cross the road and run to the other side before we get into Sierra Vista. Once the boulders start, there isn't any other way around. Just as the words came out of his mouth, we heard a car coming up the road. Quick, hide behind the cactus. It was an MP Jeep, full of MPs, two in the front, two in the back. We appeared to go unnoticed as they were talking amongst themselves as they drove by. That was close. Come on, let's go over now, Richie said as he grabbed my hand and pulled me across the road. Safely on the other side of the road, we continued our trek into town. With the tiny town in sight, I started to feel sweat roll down my cheeks. It's getting hot and I'm thirsty, wiping the sweat from my forehead. I could see the Texaco sign, meaning the gas station store was right ahead. Racia to the waterfall, I yelled back to Richie as I took off running. You're on. I'm so thirsty I could drink a river. Richie's voice trailed off as I ran ahead of him. I got to the water fountain first and began filling my mouth with the cold water. As I stood there, bent over, I looked up sideways to see Richie running up behind me. It looked as though there were two of them, as if Shadow was running just behind him. I blinked my eyes in disbelief, not sure what I was seeing. I released the lever of the water fountain and said, Your turn. Oh, and I won. Trying to laugh and forget what I had just seen, but then as Richie was leaning over to take his drink, his shadow stayed straight up. Shaking my head, I looked again, and there it was, standing as if it were separated from him. I must have had a strange look on my face as Richie stood up and asked, What's wrong? Do you need some more water? No, I'm okay. Are you done? Are you okay? I didn't know what to say to him. I certainly didn't feel right telling him I see a shadow that didn't act like a shadow. Yeah, I'm all right. Let's go inside the store and see if they have that fire engine yet. Richie following Richie into the little store slash gas station, I started feeling sick to my stomach. What was that? It sure didn't look like the shadow in my room last night. The store attendant was outside helping an older man at the gas pump. Richie walked right over to the display of matchbox cars. There it is, a Merryweather fire engine, colored metal flake red. I can't believe they have it already. This is so cool. I wonder if they have the matching ambulance. I just smiled as he began going through the small display. I stood there watching him, waiting for some sign of why he was turning different shades of gray. His colors intensified as he held the little truck, giving off impressions of selfishness, like he had just had to have that truck. I didn't understand it at all. Feeling the need to move away from him, I said, I think I will go see what else they have. All right, okay, Richie said without looking up. They had a few new dolls resting in one of the shiny bins. I picked one up and was looking at it when Richie walked over. I noticed he was pulling up his pant leg. See anything you like? He asked as I put the doll back down. None, nothing I would buy. Besides, I don't have any money. Who needs money when you have pants and socks? He smiled as he took the Malibu Barbie that I had been looking at from the bin. He bent over, pulled up his other pant leg, and shoved the box under his sock. What are you doing? You can't take that. You have to pay for it. Right as I said, put it back, the store attendant walked back into the store. Come on, let's get out of here. Leading me from behind the shelves and around the opposite side of the cashier counter, we slipped out without being seen. As soon as we left the store, I turned back towards the base. Where are you going, Sheri? Don't you want your doll? Come back. We haven't seen the rest of the town. He began to yell as I was walking away. Without looking back at him, I yelled, I've seen enough. I'm ready to go back to school. This time I led the way. Richie had to keep up with me. I could hear him all the way back to the trail. Sheri, wait up. I don't understand. Why are you so mad? I couldn't even look at him. I didn't even want to see any more colors or shadows around him. Again, without looking back, I started telling him that I was mad because he stole something and could have gotten me in big trouble. Oh, come on. We didn't get caught. You were safe with me. Slow down. Just talk to me. He begged as I stopped in my tracks, turned around, and yelled at him with my fist in a tight ball. No! For the first time since I met you, I didn't feel safe. He didn't say another word for the rest of the way back down the path to the commander's house. We made our way to the bushes that concealed our school bags. At least take the doll. I can't take it home, Richie said as he pulled the Barbie box from his sock and put it inside my bag. Not knowing what to do, I said, fine, I'll take it home, but I'm not going to play with it. You need to come over after school and get it. You need to get rid of it. Without another word spoken, we walked back to school and went inside. We had only missed the first hour, so nothing was said other than we were running late. School went by much too quickly that day. I was hoping my mother wasn't home, but when we walked in there, she was. She asked how our day was and did we have any homework. Not thinking of how bulky the Barbie box was, I opened the bag and the Barbie was exposed. I quickly closed the bag, but Mom had seen it. My mother asked, "What was that? Where did that come from?" Humiliated by what I had done, I immediately started to confess. Richie made me skip school and then stole this from the store and made me take it, I blurted out as the tears began rolling down my face. What do you mean Richie made you skip school? What store? The one in town? How did you get there? How did you get off base? I was horrified but didn't want to get in trouble, so I just kept saying, I'm sorry. I knew it was bad. It won't happen again, I swear. Accepting my remorse, my mother told me, we are taking you right back up to that store, and you're going to tell them you're sorry when you give the doll back, and you are grounded to your room for the next 2 days. Ashamed, I agreed. We went back to the store, to the scene of the crime, and I confessed to stealing the doll as I handed it back to the store manager. Even though I didn't steal it, I felt as though I had by allowing Richie to walk out with it. I'm very sorry. It won't happen again, I repeated to the store manager. I didn't tell them about Richie and that he had also took the match car. I wasn't sure what I was seeing around him that day, but started to think it had something to do with the shadow guys and how they made me feel. So I just accepted the punishment and vowed to never steal again. Being confined to the indoors was torture for me, even if only for a few days. It was the worst punishment of them all. I prefer being outside, in nature. I feel more at home among the birds and trees, besides shadows and were lurking indoors. I had seen so many ghosts walking around my room that I began to long for them, rather than seeing these shadows appearing from behind the walls. Something smothering me, paralyzing me, only to wake up acting like nothing had happened. Only memories that would come from nowhere during the day like a dream. On the second day of my imprisonment, I was sitting on the bed reading a book. My sister Angie was in the room with me. I began telling her about this dream I had the night before. I was laying in my bed when something called me over to the window. A voice saying my name. Sheri, 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 over and over. I got up from my bed and walked over to the window. Before I knew it, I was in a room with these tall white people. They had to be at least 8 feet tall. I could see eyes and a mouth, but no nose or ears. I saw they were people because they had the same body, but they weren't wearing any clothes, just their skin, which was so white. They were talking to me about moving without moving their lips. I could hear them in my head. The room had white walls, but they were round, not squared like our rooms. On one of the walls, a huge TV screen just appeared. They showed me these pictures that started moving like a movie. Pictures of big explosions, people blowing up, while buildings and trees were destroyed. I was so scared. I asked them why they were showing me this. I could hear them tell me, these things have happened before, but they were avoidable. They could happen again if people don't stop hurting the planet and each other. Then I was back in the ditch outside thinking, how did I get here? I need to go home. The next thing I know, it's morning. I looked at my sister when I was done with my story, and she looked so surprised and shocked by my dream. She started telling me about her own experience. After hearing about your dream, I'm not sure it was a dream or if it really happened, but last night I saw you being pulled through the window. Stammering in disbelief, I said, what? What do you mean pulled through the window? Yeah, in my dream I woke up when I heard you get out of bed. I watched you as you walked over to the window. So then I got up and walked up behind you and asked, what were you looking at? You pointed up into the sky, and the next thing I know, you turned around towards me like you were going to say something, and then you were pulled backwards out of the window. You were trying to scream, but no sound came out of your mouth. What did you do next? What happened to me? Shrugging her shoulders, I don't know. The next thing I remember is waking up. That's when I thought it had to be a dream, because I woke up like nothing had happened, and you were in your bed, so I didn't think about it until now. Trying to make sense of the experience, I asked, was the window opened when I was pulled through it? No, it looked just like it looks now, closed and locked. I reached out and tried to grab you, but you went out pretty fast. In my dream, I was crying out, stop, no, don't take my sister. The last thing I remember was standing there in front of the window with my arms stretched out, crying that I couldn't grab you in time. I'm so sorry. Angie began to cry and say how sorry she was. Just recalling the event was upsetting her. I put my arms around my little sister and hugged her tight. It's not your fault, even if it was just a dream or really happened. I do know that I'm glad I'm not going crazy. I can't be if both of us are seeing these things. This place is really strange. Everything is backwards. But we'll be okay. We just have to stick together. With a very serious look on her face, Angie looked up at me with tears in her big brown eyes and said, you're not crazy, Cher. You're my big sister, and I'll always be here to tell you you're not. I know, and I'll always have you by my side. Again, hugging her tight and reassuring her, even though I was now more scared for her than myself. The next few weeks were spent trying to avoid Richie, which wasn't easy, as he lived next door. I couldn't look at him the same anymore. It really scared me when I saw that shadow man standing up inside of him. We would run into the ditch every time he and his brother Randy would come around. Being in the ditch made me feel uneasy. I didn't understand it, but then my sister Angie made a comment. She said, "Do you remember being in the ditch last night?" Yes, but no, I thought I was dreaming again. I was running away, sneaking out the window and sneaking towards the ditch, but that's all I can remember, so I just forget about it, I guess. Confused now, I kept thinking, why would I want to run away so much, but then want to go back home? I don't know, let's go over to the airstrip and watch the planes take off. I was done thinking about it. With the ghosts, the shadow guys, the tall white man, and seeing colors coming from people, I couldn't take any more. It was too much for my 8-year-old brain. Watching the airplanes, helicopters, and jets taking off and landing was a great distraction for me. While we were laying there in the dirt at the end of the gated airstrip, my attention was pulled to the hangar closest to the runway. It held several planes, jets, and helicopters. One of the larger of the 5 warehouses had 6 bay doors that could open and close independently. Each door was about 10 feet wide and came from the roof of the building. At all 6 bay doors were opening and a shiny gray metal-colored craft was being pulled out. I didn't think much of it at first. There are many craft of this color, but the thing that really got my attention was the shape of this airplane. It wasn't the shape of any of airplane or jet I had seen before. It was shaped in a circle, with a dome appearance. It taxied itself out of the hangar aisle onto the edge of the runway, but instead of speeding down the asphalt and taking off, it simply went straight up into the sky. It was out of sight before I could blink an eye. My sister and I looked at each other in disbelief. "Did you just see that?" Speaking at the same time as we often do. "I have never seen anything like that before. Must be some top secret airplane." Both looking up in the sky, I said, "Did you see where it went?" "Nope, it went up so fast," her words drifted off as once again the craft came into sight. "There it is," she said, pointing in the direction of the craft. It flew over our heads and behind the mountain faster than any jet and had moved in such a way that we'd never seen, moving back and forth, up and down until it flew back towards the base and did a flyby before ascending back up into the sky and disappearing again. This time it didn't come back, so we never saw it return to the base. That was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. If I had to explain everything we were going through here to someone, anyone, they would think I'm crazy. I know, if I didn't see it, I would think you're crazy too. these can't, these can't, that's funny. Thanks, kid. Glad you got my back, I teased Angie again, because I know I would feel the same way. It was getting late and we had to get home. With sunset being our curfew, we headed home as the sun started making the sky turn pink, meaning it would soon be setting. Uh-oh, it just flashed up on me. Sorry. I have to find my spot. Nighttime seemed to have mostly more ghostly activity, so I was okay with being home before it got dark. I started sleeping with the lights on, but my mother didn't understand and would always come in and turn them off before going to bed herself. After seeing that round airplane disappear, I couldn't fall asleep. So when my mom came in to turn off the light, I asked her, "Mom, have you ever seen a round airplane before that could fly faster than a jet?" She said, "No, I don't think I can't say that I have. Why do you ask?" "We saw one today. It was flying around the base, waiting for her. It was flying around the base. I was waiting for her to reply. I asked. It came out of one of the hangars." "Really? Well, you know the base has all kinds of different test planes. You might have seen one of those. Now go to sleep. You have to school tomorrow." She turned off the light and closed the door. And that is the end of chapter 3. That's a lot, huh? Any questions? I have a couple. Hey, Tony. What's up? How you doing over there? I just saw it came into the room. So I hope Miss Christine made it back into the chat. I know there's a delay also, like a minute delay. So if you have questions or anything, um, feel free to put them in, and we'll start talking about that. Um, I have to say, that experience of that situation, taking that doll, that like scarred me for life. I cannot steal. I can't shoplift. I just can't do it. Thank you, Brian. Plays out like a movie. Oh, how awesome. I hope you can see it like that. My words don't stumble enough to where you're not getting the pictures that I'm trying to put out there by reading it, you know? That's awesome that you can see it playing out like a movie. Thank you. That's my goal. To have it play out like a movie for you so you can see it, you know? We all certainly, well, and I say that most of us go through stuff like that. For those that don't, they probably do, but they don't remember it. It's like one of those memories in the back of their mind, and they just can't pull it forward until maybe one day. Woo, aha! Oh, Brian, you remember you stole a candy from a store when you were like 4, and you took me back to the store and made me return it. But you never stole from a store ever again after that. Exactly. Gotta have some consequences. Janie saying, I had the same experience going to the store with a friend, and she stole right in front of you and told me to do the same. I refused, right? It was traumatic, right? I'm just not, I'm not the one. I'm not, I just couldn't. And I think that's why those colors were so crazy on him, because I don't think he would have. Those colors made him do it. The Shadow Man made him do it. That's how I saw it. So I couldn't even like look at him afterwards. I'm just like, no, I'm out of here. I can't even look at you because I know that shadow guy. Boy, and I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to get rid of it. And it's crazy though. Children still have those experiences today. Think about that one. That's scary for me. It's still going on. Those shadow guys are still here. I try to get rid of them as often as I can. As often as I see them, feel them, I'm like, no, you're out of here. But so I tell people when you have something happening in that moment, you have to be able to free your mind from whatever their trap is, right? Yeah, I know, right? Like I didn't want to see him again. I'm like, mm-mm. I avoided him until it was my birthday, but that's a whole other story. In any case, it is something though to go through that as a child, and then to just take that away, where you just it just is it was even though I didn't do it, somebody else's choices traumatized me, right? That became a pattern throughout my life where other people's choices are what traumatized me. It wasn't my choice. I didn't cheat, lie, steal. I was very polite, a little girl. I tried to do my best even though it was in very strenuous. And again, the book only covers my paranormal experiences. That's not my whole life. There was all kinds of other stuff going on around me, right? Yeah, Shadow Guy is a demon. Mm, they're demons. Yeah, and again, people use that word, overuse the word spirit, because when you tell people, I got the spirits around me, well, even the word legions of angels overused so much that people are like, that's demon. Legion. Legion means demons. No, legion means many. the words, the words get twisted and overused and misidentified. But in any case, shadow guys, definitely. Yes, Brian, they're like parasites also. They are pests. That's how I view them also. When you start using words like that, though, people are like an parasite, like an amoeba, like like a no, but yes, I mean, they come in all kinds of different shadows. Well, I guess there's only a few that are really the shadow guy, the hooded guy, the top hat guy. But I see them also just as bodies, with no hats, no, no hoodie looking thing. Also, there's part of the skyfish. And if you don't know what that is, that's definitely stories that came from our Indian heritage. But they still exist today. They're like they're like parasites also, and they look like these flat jellyfish with these tentacles that come out. That's a whole other story. I got so many stories because I've actually see those. Um, it's so scary to think about all the different things, but we gotta remember, even though what you see is mainly human and animal and reptile and mammal and blah blah blah, there's quite a bit of aliens here, quite a bit. Some people say there's at least 150 different types of aliens, and some of those aliens are part of the shadow guys. I know, but we can overcome. We can overcome. We can remove them. That's the thing that I want everyone to take away, because it's scary just to talk about that there's these shadow guys. First of all, that there's anything external of you that can actually be in your space and you don't even know. You don't even know. You think the kid knew? He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. He had no idea. And nobody else that couldn't see him had an idea. I'm like, why do I see him? Again, it's a blessing to use that and be able to see the discernment. So Ty saying I was followed by a guy with no eyes. Interesting, because a lot of them don't have any kind of facial features. No face. You might see outline what kind of looks like. That's why they call it shadow guys. They could be female. I don't know, but they look like a guy, and their presence is big, like a guy, but no faces. So I believe no eyes. Where were you? Were you in that house in Clearwater? I don't mean to laugh, but it's gotta laugh. God, there's so much stuff. We gotta laugh. That's why I laugh all the time. We gotta laugh. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The aliens that you experienced, what were they doing to you when you were taken? Do you know? No, and the biggest memory that I have is like them removing things, blood. It felt like blood and stuff. And then later I found that several women, or girls, people I know, actually had fetuses removed. Um, so mm-mm. And I'm kind of glad that I don't have memory of everything. Because who knows what they were doing? Who knows? How many stories have we heard where these people are just like capsulated in these, like, Man on Fire, that story about that guy that got kidnapped and was gone for weeks. He escaped. Yeah, there's just so many different. All I can tell you is that it didn't stop until I was in my 30s. It didn't stop until I was in my 30s. It wasn't just on the base. It started on the base, but it continued. And my children had experiences with it as well. And my sisters, people that I know directly, still had experiences. Now, I don't think that it's happening. I don't think it's happening to my grandchildren, but I don't know. Maya, you still in here? So no, and I know that I can only tell you the experience and what I remember from it, and and then from experiences that I've encountered with other people. and what they remember from it. Like in that movie, and I relate a lot to movies because they tell us what they're doing in movies. They tell us in entertainment, in art, they tell us what they're doing. So Men in Black, they have that thing they flash, makes you forget. That is real. That's real. They can wipe out memories. I mean, you could have a mass experience and they can wipe it out. That was actually part of a dream that I had that began Satara, the other book that I wrote a couple years ago. Satara, Enacting Code Zodiac. That starts with an event happening, a massive event happening, and then boop, everybody just forgetting and going back to whatever was before them. So I mean, how many of you do you think that you had experiences but you don't remember them? But you have that feeling some had to happen because you feel that you got that feeling. You just got that gut feeling that something happened. And those of you that are listening back also in the recorded, session here, if you have anything to add to that, if you have any experiences or anything, again, more people have experiences than don't. Oh, Ty, that's awesome. Thank you. Let me know. You have to let me know what you think and leave a review if you could. If you like it. If you don't like it, don't leave a review. Throw that in there. Okay, Janie, you're saying, let me expand this so I see more. I have talked to you before about my experience and have no memory of what they looked like, but do remember that in the middle of the night I would find myself doing strange things, like climbing the wall, like climbing the wall on fence, like climbing the wall facing on bathroom door to the top, and my parents finding me there. Oh, now we're moving up. And missing time when it happened. And I remember being hypnotized and being made to count hats that appeared in the air, but I don't remember seeing them. Isn't that crazy? Exactly. You do strange things, and you have no explanation, no why. And I'm sure your parents are probably thinking you're crazy. And a lot of people have missed time. Missing time is huge, and it can be hours, up to hours of missing time. Isn't that interesting how you don't remember? But you remember. You have. It's again. It's like it's in a memory that's so pushed so far back, but it's there. So it still causes you to have um, instant recall. It still causes you to have that feeling of uh, in your stomach when you think about it. That's from something happening. And Brian saying, I don't have any memory of anything, so I tell myself that it has never happened. But I do have a big fear of the possibility, and it is one of the only things I am afraid of. And it's not an irrational fear either. Um, it's not irrational. It's not. Because a lot of people, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people have a fear of clowns, right? They can't identify anything in their life that happened to them with a clown, right? But they have this fear of clowns. A lot of people are starting to come out saying that those clowns, that image of the clown, was replaced, when the images of the alien. So in the process of making you forget, they're trying to implant a different memory, like a clown. So people have this irrational fear of clowns, and they don't know why. But it's because they use that image to replace their own image. You didn't see an alien, you saw a clown. Well, the clown scared the crap out of you, and now you have fear of clowns, and you'd never been around one. That's the strangest part for me, too, because why? Why you got to replace that memory with something else to make me more fearful of something else? But anyway, I digress. You even got sores on your head at that time that lasted for months. Wow. And that could have been from the probing, and God only knows what they were doing, right? The 90s, all of the 90s is like that, right? Ay. Heather said, my mom told me that when I was little, I told her about people across the ocean that was coming for her boyfriend at the time, and it was true, not a clue how I knew and don't remember it myself. Let me read that again. My mom told me that when I was little, I told her about people across the ocean that was coming for her boyfriend at the time, and it was true. Oh, not a clue how you knew and don't remember it yourself. Oh, wow. So someone was coming for him from across the ocean from another country? Was he getting deported? Well, that's crazy. But we know things. We know. We can see things when, especially young, out of the mouth of babes. They say that for a reason, because most children are so still connected, and they say the darndest things. But pay attention. And Janie's saying, yes, I hate clowns. Yeah. Ugh. And then you also said, I missed that part. Yes, my parents didn't know what was going on. They thought it was my imagination. Boy. But then couldn't figure out why I did strange things. Yep. Sounds like me. I got told I had an overactive imagination all my life. And from psychiatrists, because I had to go through the whole psychiatry thing. And Brian saying at one point clowns made people happy, so maybe they use clowns to keep you calm down. Maybe so. Maybe so. Because again, a lot of this, is from the 70s, the 80s. So, clowns were, that's what they represented. Happy times, right? So maybe they use that. And then a lot of times too, for a lot of people, they use the owl. All these people thought this owl was just like stalking them and hunting them down. They replaced themselves with the owl image as well. Because again, nature. When people see owls and stuff, they usually are like, oh, they use stuff against us. That's for sure. Heather saying, yeah, clowns make me super uneasy and always have. Isn't that crazy? No rational reason for it, except for them replacing that memory and using something that, like Brian's saying, used to bring happiness and joy. Life is a clown. Components of Nicole. She made that comment sitting next to me listening to you. Oh, cool. Could be then. Yeah, thank you, Nicole, then for that input. But yeah, it could be. They made, used it to help. They thought it was going to help keep you calm, but then it just created this new fear. Compliments. Okay. Silly text guys. But anyway, yeah, they definitely use things that, would help you. And it's a replacement memory. What's it called? A replacement memory. The cognitive memories. They want to replace your cognitive memories, right? Because that is where you hold, all your memories and experiences and stuff. They're not in your subconscious, right? They're not in your conscious, they're in your subconscious, which is your cognitive. That's where your cognitive is where all your gifts and everything lie, so yeah, it is crazy to me. It's like, wow. To think of the things that we've been through, gone through as human beings, and here it is 2020, and we still question. Because, again, we have all these experiences, and it just leaves us wanting more answers and questioning everything, and that's all by design. I gotta say, to keep you in chaos, it's all by design. 420. Is it 420 time? Yeah. Keep you calm. It's all good. It's okay. You'll be alright. Crazy, huh? Things that people do because, they do need some way to. I mean, that's why we have such addictive personalities, maybe even. They put that in you just so that, so that experience makes you go out and do some crazy stuff. I didn't even know that I was afraid of clowns until I was grown and took my 4-year-old daughter to a circus. I freaked out when a clown tried to be close to me. Wow, that's how it plays out. A lot of stuff that happens to us when we're little, it we don't have the trigger until later in life, and then something triggers it, and then we're like full blown panic mode, reliving, instant recall, freak out. It can be overwhelming. That's why it's important, I think, for us to live in our chakra energy, because that brings us focus and clarity. And it makes us be able to see the things that are around us and understand the energy play. And when you have understanding of the energy play, you're not owning it because you know it's not yours. So it doesn't leave that guilt, which leaves that repetitive loop, you know, get sucked in. Stop doing that. Don't own that. It's not yours. That fear is not yours. It's those external things of us. It's their fear that you're going to find out who they are, what they're doing, and that you can remove them. That's the important part. People need to know they can remove them. You can keep your space clear. And it doesn't just send them next to your neighbor. we send them up and out of here. Remove them from this planet. That's my goal, is to remove all that evil from this planet. I'm doing it every day. I'm removing as much as I can. It's so much. I mean, at times it's like there's, a football team piling, piling on you, piling. So we just have to be able to move past it. You know what I mean? To get to that point where if we're not afraid. So as soon as it happens, as soon as we feel it, hear it, sense it, we can remove it up and out. I have several clients that I've been working with for the last several years that I love their progress because they don't even, now it's just like, oh, boop, boop, up and out. They don't even mess with them anymore. Excuse me. So anyway, all right, well, let's do a quick exercise. Unless you have more questions about what we just read and what we've just been talking about. And again, for anyone listening back into the recording, if you have anything you want to share to input right there, please do. Please do. I think it's important that we talk about it because, again, those triggers go away. When we can talk about it, we can remove the fear, we can remove that from our energy, because that's what it's about, keeping our energy clear, keeping our energy flowing. Oh my gosh, hello Amara, yes. Oh my gosh, feels like it's been years ago, but look how far you've come. Now, in I don't want to get this wrong, but you're in Spring now, right? Spring, Texas, not far from Old Town Spring. And if anybody listening or it goes that way, she's just setting up shop. She's doing all kinds of stuff. She's amazing. 2013, yeah. My God, time flies. Yes, all right, just outside of it. Very cool. We should put your information in the chat room right there, and then you can even post it up in the page on the group. Also, let people know where you at and if they're in the area to go that way. So yeah, your office is in Old Town Spring. Yes, okay. Right, you live right outside of it now, but your office is in Old Town Spring. See, I didn't want to mess it up. I knew roundabout, but I don't want to mess it up. Like, it's best if you just tell us where you at. But anyway, yeah, you do all kinds of work, and oh my gosh, I was telling my granddaughter about you also because she was talking about doing the esthetician and getting into all the and wanting to have her facials and stuff done. And I remember at one point you were doing that also, but now you got your Reiki shit stuff all set up and ready to go, right? I saw the beginnings of your. I haven't seen any update. I guess you might have finished it. I saw when you were first starting to get all the floors and stuff done. But amazing stuff, and yes, that's what I'm talking about. People like Amara, who just own it, and step into their own with no fear, and they just do it, knowing, they just know, so they just do, and I love it. I tell my grandchildren all the time, we don't try, we do, right? You can try, and never get to do. So we do. Thank you. There you go. 303 Main Street in Old Town Spring. Reiki and facials mixed. Awesome. I should send my granddaughters over there to you. Inside Spirit Quest. Oh, okay. Yes, that's right. See? Which is, I need to go there. We're going to be going over there next weekend, actually. I'm going to be going over there mm, the weekend of the 18th. Maybe we'll have to. Me and my girls go over there. Well, my daughter's having surgery on the 18th. Everybody pray for my daughter Tamara. She's having surgery. But yeah, she lives over there in Conroe now, so I'll be over there, kind of in the area. But in any case, congratulations on getting that going and to stepping into that knowing and just taking it where spirit leads you. And I love that you do that too. You open it, spirit put it before you, right? You don't seek for much at all, do you? It just comes before you. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. Your inner GPS system guides you, gives you that synchronicity. So I think the chakras are very important for who we are, for our own paths, because they always talk to us. They do tell us. Aw, that's awesome of you to say. Thank you. Opened all of them chakras, huh? that's that's awesome. Thank you. And again, you're ready. That's when people come to me. By the time they come to me, they're ready. They're ready because we're just gonna go full force and we're gonna go get you set up. So that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm so happy for you. So yes, all right. So if you wanna do a little exercise right now. And again, when I'm in a room with other people and all that energy is flowing, I have no expectations. I don't go into any kind of situation with any expectations, and so I want everyone just to feel relaxed and take a deep breath and don't worry about what you're going to see, what you're going to feel. But anything that you want to shout out, your chakras may be in need and repair and in a healing. They'll be called out to me. So I may call on you and come to you. So your chakras are very well because you taught it so well. Oh, thank you. And but it has it, and I love that it works for you. Because that's the main thing. That's my goal is if I can just get one person, and I've gotten several, so I'm excited. So anyway, I'm gonna take just a gander at who's in the chat room still. Um, because again, I love my children, but I don't like looking at their chakra. I don't like looking at their energy too often. I have to be very focused when I look at their energy because I don't want to see everything. I just need to see what they need to work on. So that's where I go with the kids. Um, but oh my goodness, anyone in the room that needs anything, let your chakra scream it out. Scream it out. We'll just connect to your chakras and see who's in the room and see. And again, I always ask to go in and see that red root chakra. Start connecting, and then it just starts flowing information. So you all can do that as well. Close your eyes and just ask to see um, who's in need, right? Who's in need. And then be drawn to that energy and then just speak it out. I gotta say, this group's pretty. I got like Ty. What are you with Ty? What's going on with Ty? Ty. Ty. What's happening with Ty? Is Ty still in the room? Ty, you still in the room? Ty, if you're not in the room, I'm gonna call you later. I know there's a delay. But yeah, Amara, you're looking good. Miss Janie, you're looking good too. And I think it's just the kids in here also. I'm not sure who all's in here, but anybody feel anybody or get any names that, come across with information? Anyone else see Ty? I mean, not have known it was Ty. He's the Mashidi guy. I know Miss Ty. Ty, I'm gonna be calling you later. What are you going through? Nicole and I are still watching you. Okay. You messaged him. Okay. Heather's still in here. Yo. Yo, Ty. Ty. Okay, Ty. He's just. Oh, he's there. He's there, honey. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. But Ty, when I looked at your energy, I got this silver kind of energy down in your lower. So it's either in your stomach or in your abdomen. Are you having any kind of lower stomach issues, intestinal stuff? And if you are silver, 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 what's silver? Silver, maybe silver will help you. Silver, silver. Are you taking something with silver in it? You taking something with metal in it? You taking supplements with metals? Having any kind of reaction to it? I hate this delay. I'm probably gonna call you later, Ty. This delay is not good for the respond. Anyone else having any kind of issue like that? Because sometimes it's a group thing. Also, you might have a couple. He doesn't take anything. Okay, if he's not taking it, then maybe he should. You're not getting any younger. But are you having any kind of intestinal issues though? Are you having any lower stomach issues, intestinal issues? Should he take something, Heather? He's not talking. This is okay. All right. I'll call you later. You want to talk about it? That's fine. Maybe Santa's going to get him a belt buckle for Christmas. A silver belt buckle. He does have stomach stuff. Okay, heartburn. All right. So, there might be stuff for you to take that'll help you that having that. Oh, and see, look at this stomach issues over here for Janie's son. Ooh, throwing up for Jane. Okay, he's gonna say no, but yes, you need to take care of yourself, Mister Tai Tai. Mister Tai. Um, we'll what is the silver? Oh, is it in a silver can? Silver cans of beer. No. All right, Ty. I'll get with you. I'll get with you later. I know your number. Or do I? Yeah, I think I have your number. I'll find you. All right. So, because what is the colloidal? What is it? Colloidal silver? What is the silver? I don't want to have to look it up right now. We'll have to get with you. But I feel like that might actually benefit you. I have to look at it. What is the silver? Um, Lots of beer. Only green beer for me. Oh, Brian. All right. So, all right. Well, and again, the stomach issues. It's interesting. Another thing that I find is when you have one person that has an issue, there's going to be a couple people in that group in that room that have the same issues. And so the information when you're doing a reading for someone, it's usually beneficial for several, because they're getting that same information and they can take it and own it. Ice house bottles. Okay. Well, then we're definitely going to work on the silver. Maybe. And again, I'm not great with herbals. It's in a herbal. I don't take stuff myself, but unless it's you know God puts it before me and says you have to take this literally, literally. Um, and it could just be that uh, no, I'm like maybe it's just some kind of supplement like a vitamin thing, but I think it goes beyond just a vitamin thing. Vitamins don't really stay in your system anyway. You have to take all kinds of things for vitamins to actually they get drained right out of your system through your urine. Anyway, um some powdered herbs to use. Oh, okay, cool. Is there anything with silver in it? What is this with silver I keep seeing for him? And it might just be a yeah. Okay, I'll message you. Mr. Mr. Ty. No, he does not still live in the monk house. Thank goodness. That's the Clearwater house. Monk. Monk. That's funny. Kidney stones? He has three kidneys? He has three kidneys? Did you say he has three kidneys? Did I know he has three kidneys? In any case, I didn't mean to hone in on you, Ty, but you're the one who came up when I started looking at the group of people that I felt participating. And so I feel like we'll have a conversation more in depth, not fully functional. Okay. All right. Wow. Alrighty then. I know. Nobody wants this kind of attention. It's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Sorry. But in any case, interesting though when you pick up on one information, it can be for different other people. Marshmallow root powder, ginger, honey, pineapple, spirulina, spirulina. I don't. What's that? Please do have a conversation. Now I'm worried. No, don't be worried. I will call you, but don't be worried. And again, things that I see are to be brought to your attention so that you can do something about them. Okay, it's not just about oh, right. No, I want you to be good. I want you to take care of stuff so that you can move on with your life and have good healthy existence. That's what it's about. So did anyone else oh, you take that, Brian? I don't even know what it is. Because I'm not one to take I can't take herbals and stuff. My body rejects most things. Unless I said God puts it before me and says, "Here, take this," which has happened, like with the myosteo. It's an herbal that I would have never known about had God not put this woman in front of me and said, "Here, take this." I said, "Okay." Oh, it's like an algae. Okay. Yes, all helps with antiviral, anti-inflammatory, so the mix in foods can help balance the acidic and inflammation. All right, cool. All right, okay, it's like allergy. All right, didn't miss any of the need to be organic and powder to get full benefits. Right. Yeah, I'm sure because other things can be so cut with, things that are not healthy for you. It's like you're supposed to be taking something healthy and it turns out not to be healthy. It's crazy. All right, so anyone else in the room have a call out for anything? And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be medical. It's just interesting, though, how a lot of medical stuff does come through because, again, we're talking about the chakras, and chakras are actually attached to our organs as well, as you can imagine, because they are in our body makeup. I'm just looking around. Don't hide. Um, I mean, of course, all of you have like questions. Yeah, I feel questions like, well, how do I get to this and how do I do that? And um, well, that's cool, Janie. It should be like a flower. That's again something you see once you start connecting more. You the lotus flower, like the lotus flower, and a poinsettia is kind of like that with the big leafy stuff. But the lotus flowers, that's third eye, all of it up. Okay, so Nicole, are you asking was Ty a twin? Is that why he has three kidneys? Hmm. Heals you inside out, but morning glory can do so much. But LAW, but laws. Not sure what that means. So yeah, I just feel like I'm getting like questions now. Questions. So who has questions? Um, no, don't have all the answers to all those questions. But questions, just really on how to get yourself into a state of knowing, of being, of, all one. How do I get to that universal energy? Who's screaming that? Um, yeah, you probably just forgot, Miss Janie. We do that too. Nicole. Um, it's not freaky. Our bodies are just freaky. Um, yeah, the third is like a partial. Yeah, she's just joking. She's good like that. Okay, that's Brian's fiance. You can imagine Brian's fiance. It's just like Brian. In any case, all the questions that you have though can be found in your chakras. I gotta say, whoever's screaming those universal questions at me, get in touch with your chakras. Get that relationship going, and that's where all of our answers are. Nicole is my fiance, Heather. Oh yeah, you and Ty would love Nicole. You would. She fits right in. Um, yeah, she's a freak and a huge shit talker, and they get along great. But anyway, back to the questioning. Who's questioning? Are they not in this chat room? Are you just watching and not in the chat room for whoever's screaming those questions at me? I want you to go to my media page and get into the connecting and grounding to your chakras, and start that relationship, because we are not supposed to seek out. We're supposed to seek within. We seek within. We don't even seek. We just go within, and God provides it. God puts it in front of us. Yes, Nicole, are those your questions? Questions. And if you're watching on the group page and you can't see the chat and the people that I'm talking to, come into the event page, and watch it from there. And you can interact in our chat room. And again, it wasn't very smart of Facebook to have this option done this way. We used to be able to just go live right from the page. Now it's some freaking room where everybody comes in on video. It's crazy. So, yeah. Questions. Everybody's full of questions. Everyone's full of questions. I had someone the other night tell me he didn't have any questions. He's already figured it all out. And I said, nope, you wouldn't be here. It might be you. I'm not trying to send that to you because I already got the link for what I need. Right, but your questions are still flying out there. Could be you. It could be Nicole also. Nicole's got a lot of questions about connecting and getting in touch and finding that center and that peace from within. I'm sure many of us do. It is the biggest thing that we seek, is to find that peace. Because we look out in the world and it's just so chaotic. We're like, but that's why it says to be of this world, not no, be in this world, not of it. Is the saying. So you need to go through the videos and just really to get going. Do the happy place one and the connecting and grounding. The connecting and grounding is the one that you do twice a day if you can get to it in the morning, and then the evening. Don't even worry about anything. Just get it going in your brain. It's kind of like the mantra. I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. Saying that mantra alone starts getting you connected, because the first thing you're saying is I am connected. Well, you're connecting that energy of your chakras. You're grounded. You are grounded in that godness, that connection with Mother Earth and connection with the Great Spirit. You're grounded in that. It means you're solidified. You're standing strong. You're balanced, meaning that you got focus, you got clarity, because you're balanced in that energy, so you don't have that chaos going on. And protected. It's important for us to be protected because there are those external energies that we need to keep out. And then flowing in the love of the divine, because once you get your energy going and the chakras flowing, that is your oneness with God. We are the Holy Trinity. We are the Holy Trinity. So keep that in mind. Yes, I know you have a 9-year-old. And Ty. And God knows what else you deal with on the daily, so I know. But again, it's just to get you going on it, just to keep it in the mind, and to get the chakras activated, so that you get those going in your mind. You're retraining the receptors in your brain to accept the fact that the chakras are there and you are connecting with them. And yeah, right. And you don't have to calm your third dimensional self down so very much. Exactly. You don't have to, because it's already calm, right? Brian and Ty. I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. It just means she's busy. Oh, yes, the mantra. I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. Write it out. I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. Put it up on your refrigerator. Put it up on your bathroom mirror. So that you're seeing it every day, so that you can just restart retraining the brain into accepting that I am. That is the most powerful mantra that we can do, is the I am. Whatever you put after that is important. So I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. That will start getting your chakras aligned and activated. It's amazing how it works. I've had great success. That mantra came to me. Spirit gave me that God, I can't even tell you how many years ago now. It's been so long. So in any case, we have a track record with it. Many people have told us that just by saying that mantra gets them in the motion of the connection, and then doing the videos along with that. Then you have that, the visualize that starts coming in, where the chakras are placed, and it starts waking it all up and activating it and getting them working in that teamwork. Oh God, yes I am. Yes, you are. And you're so welcome. Yeah, how to protect yourself from absorbing other people's emotion. I wish I could just say, "Oh, you just do this." But let me tell you, it is a process because you have got to like turn all of your empathy that you have for other people. That's how you're connecting with them. You're empathetic to their situation. But then you have to be able to turn that to apathy so that you can now see their situation, but remove the emotion from it so that you can view their situation, and then you just pray for them. You just pray for them and their situation, and you don't own it. You just keep it over there, over there praying for it. So it's a process that you have to work it through your brain because again, your energy wants to, like Nicole, you're saying you're a sponge. You're just absorbing in everything because you're just wide open. So that's what happens when your chakras are because again, your chakras are going and working even when we're not attaching ourselves to them, and so it can cause all kinds of chaos. So you need to rein it in, bring that chakra into balance. So once you're balanced in that energy, it is easier for you to read other people and not own their emotion. It's just about not owning their emotion. It's their shit, not yours. It's their monkey, not yours. It's their circus, not yours. It's their clowns, not yours. But you have to be able to switch off the emotion from it. So you definitely want to be able to be empathetic. But you don't want to be so empathetic that that's all you're doing is walking around being empathetic and absorbing other people's stuff, right? So it's a process though, and Amara's saying, it's definitely a process. But practice, practice, practice. You just have to constantly practice it, and you have to stop first of all taking everything so personal. Don't you can't make yourself feel so personal that you can relate so much to everything that everybody's going through. Yeah, so I can relate, but I'm not going to own it, right? Yeah, so it's again it's a pull between being empathy and apathy. You want to be empathetic. You want to be because if you're not, you're cold. You're not reading. You don't care about nobody. But we are not. We are not cold. We care. And so you care, you care. And that's okay to care. Just don't own it. It's not yours. So be empathetic to read it, but then switch that to remove the emotion that you're feeling. That emotion is just it's like when you're doing a reading and you're connecting to somebody, um, whatever they're experiencing, you might get a flash of what you experienced. And so, but it's not for us to just go, oh, listen to what I went through, and then be all about you, right? So in order to read them, you're like, oh, okay, I can empathize. I see what you're going through. I get it. Now, Spirit, tell me, what it is that I need to do so I can remove, or rather, I can help them move on. So you have to have that balance. Yeah, exactly, because you love and because you care more than they do. I know. And it's sad, but it's not their fault. You have to also put it into the perspective that it's not their fault. We are in a backwards world. It makes us do stupid things and say stupid shit and get addicted to the craziest stuff. It's not their fault. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. And it's not that they don't care less or care more. It's just that their perception and their perspective is swayed and dampened by things going on in their life. So we have to remove it, and so you're taking it personal when you think that you care more than they do. It's not that you care more. You just, you're expressing your perception of it, and they're expressing theirs. So it's in finding that balance again, so you can be empathetic. You can read it, you can love them, and be like, yeah, I get what you're going through, but then be be apathetic and be like, you know what, but I'm not going through, I'm not going to go through that. That's not what I'm going through. That's not mine. But I'm going to share with you what spirit says I think you should, what they think you should hear. That's the way I frame it. I go in with no expectations, knowing that it's going to be what spirit needs them to hear, not about what I want to tell them. Trust me. Trust me, it's not about my opinion of what they're doing or my opinion of what they should do, right? Because I'd get in trouble. I'd get in trouble. So yeah, it's stupid. It's not. It's one way or the other. Either I'm in or out. Either I care or I don't care. Now you can't be that way. You have to have that fine line. And you find out with every relationship you're in, you find out how to walk that line because you're in with them and you care about them, but they can't make all your decisions. They don't make all your choices. See the difference? So it's just about finding that balance for yourself so that you don't drive yourself crazy. You're driving yourself crazy trying to figure out why people do what they do because you wouldn't do that. You can't do that. Oh my God. That's my life right there. Yeah, that's where the question is. Right. Finding that balance. And again, you have to go in and find your own connection with your chakras so that you can get that peace, you can find that balance, and so you can actually bring focus and clarity to what you're connecting to. Then to have that decipherment of the energies that is in play, and then what spirit's going to bring to you and show you next. That's the balance. That's what we all, I think, strive to be is to find that focus and that clarity for our lives because our choices and our people and our blah, 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 blah. It's overwhelming. But when we're living in those chakras, we can breathe and deal with it. I deal with so much on the daily. And it's other people's stuff. It's not that I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. And I got to be able to remove it so I can go on to the next. If I do 4 or 5 readings in a day, I can't take each reading into the next. Just like with a relationship, I can't take that past relationship into the next, right? And it's probably harder to separate the emotion and helping people that are your family that you love, right? Oh yeah, yeah, especially when it's people you love, and they're yeah, they're screwing up and you know it, and you want to be able to be like A B C D E, but that's not the way it works. People don't learn by being They learn by example. I want to be like Nicole. I want to be like Nicole because Nicole will think about this. She'll make the right choice. So you want to be the example. So you need to just continue to say, I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. Get yourself in those chakra energy so that you can bring that focus and clarity for yourself. So that you don't take, on other people's stuff, because it's not yours. And it's hard to watch, but I know you can't slap shit out of them, so what do? Walk away. You pray for them. That's what it is to be in constant prayer. Once we're in that energy of chakras and we understand the balance that it brings our life, our higher self is then allocated to pray for everything and anything. Our higher self is in a dimension of multitasking extraordinaire. So they know how to pray and get other stuff done. And I don't know how many of us are multitaskers, right? So you can put it in the perspective your multitasking higher self is putting into prayer everything that you cannot control, and which is everyone else out there. So we're praying for them, even those demons and stuff. I pray for those demons to be lifted and pulled up out of there, so that so we can find balance and have focus and clarity. Exactly. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, and that's when the emotion and care turns off. It's sad, but it has to be that way, or I'll be an emotional wreck. Well, that's where you're finding your balance in your own inner self, knowing what you can deal with and what you cannot, and knowing what other people, knowing that they make their choices. So you're not an emotional wreck. And like you said, Solana, I was told and just set an example and pray in a constant way. Yeah, exactly. We can only pray for those that we cannot help. And we can't help everybody. You can't change anyone. I learned that a long time ago. I don't even try. In fact, you could talk to my exes today, and they will tell you the one thing they appreciate about me is I didn't try to change them. I didn't say they had to do A, B, C, D. Mm-mm. You have to accept them and just pray for them. And if you can't handle what they're doing, you can certainly walk away from them. That's your space. You have to keep your space sacred. It's okay to walk away from people, especially toxic people that won't see the light and don't see the, stuff that's really inside them. And she has a mean slap too. Yeah. And that's a big struggle for everyone, Nicole. You are not alone. I mean, a lot of us are sitting over here going, watching other people and the stuff they're doing, and we're just like, what? You know? That's why we pray for them. We pray for everything. I set my vortex on as much as I can. I can't set my vortex on people per se, but I do set them over places, and it does affect the people. So, yeah, but you like it. That mean slap. I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Anyway, yeah. I mean, and again, I think a lot of us are asking those same questions about how do we get through this and not be affected by all this stuff. I mean, I've used to, there's times I'm like, I have to turn off Facebook. I have to turn off Twitter. You got to walk away. You got to walk away. It can be toxic. It's so negative. And it's programmed that way. People need to know the algorithms and bots can make you feel a certain way. So be be very conscious of that as well. Now it's getting weird. Okay, so let's move on from that conversation then. So anyway, yeah, I want everyone to go over there to my site, Psychic Solana. Wix. Oh wait, I gotta adjust. PsychicSolana.wix.com /services and then /media page is where the videos are. And if you've never worked with your chakras before, do the happy place first, and that's just going to get you into the center of knowing you need to be in a happy place before you start any energy work. You've got to, start moving that into a good place, and then do the connecting and grounding video, so you can get those chakras going and get them connecting and get that teamwork going. And then you have the living vortex is on there, the June visualization, and how to direct energy to heal your body. All these things are within our grasp of doing and walking and becoming a more balanced individuals. So that's time for you making things weird since 1978. I like that. And Elisa's saying I work in long-term care. Oh, and it's very difficult. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine the emotional stuff that you go through. And you got to be able to, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off all day long. Pray for you, Elisa. And I know my sister does the home health care, and it's very it can be very draining just because of the physical. But then you have oh, good. Well, and again, go do the videos and try and find that balance, because we have to find that balance within. That balance comes from within. It doesn't come from anything else we do external outside of us. It comes from within. Nicole saying, so that was my question. It's just hard to come to that decision to flip the switch. Once it's flipped, it's hard to switch. That's why you don't have to flip the switch, honey. Don't put yourself in that position to flip that switch. You have to be able to, just don't take it personal, to see what their choices are theirs, and, pray for them. You protect myself and my home. Yeah, I know. I know. We all want to be guarded and protect ourselves, but and we should. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying don't take it so personal. That's the biggest thing. And the only way not to take it so personal is to remove the emotion from it. Oh, and Elisa's saying up and down. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. And I certainly hope that the videos help and they can help bring you into an alignment so that you can find that balance within yourself. And again, it's not about shutting off your emotions. You can still be an emotional person. You just don't have to be emotionally attached to anybody else's stuff. So I want you just to find that peace, go within, get those chakras going. That is going to be the best relationship that you've ever had because it's with yourself. And just to feel those energies working together, knowing that that information is going to come, that we're just the middleman. We get information for other people around us to help them, however it is that we can help them. Not by taking on their stuff, though. It's the big thing. I know it's hard. Um, oh, hey there, Miss Erin. Thank you for coming in. And Solana is a wise woman. Practice, practice, practice. That's all I can say. I've been practicing it for so long. It's just a thought. I'm in that energy. It's just a thought, and I can remove that emotion. It's just a thought. I gotta tell you though, little secret. I do still have an issue when it comes to people's medical stuff. I can't, because I connect and I can feel that energy of their medical stuff, and it can make me pass out sometimes. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Funny, funny, funny story for me to have to go through though. Yes, you have to be open to it. Yes. I want to thank you, Elisa. Good night. Off to work. Oh, good. All right. Well, blessings to you, and thank you for coming in then. And you're wonderful. But thank you for coming in and interrupt anytime. You can come in and put your stuff in the chat room. We'll get to it for sure. But thank you for coming in. And I guess we're going to go ahead and call it a night then. It's already 8:38. Woo. Um, it's interesting though, and I love that we can come together and talk about this stuff so that you can find out how to find balance for yourself because that's what it's all about. So remember the mantra: I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. Right? She's not lying. She's feeling dizzy, nauseous. Just bringing it up. Oh, okay. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. So again, don't forget that mantra: I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. And keep your center in your chakras, and give anything and everything you can't handle through that energy up to God. He has it said that whatever we can't handle, we're to give to God. Give it on up there. Go on, give it on up there, and then get out there and live your life and have the best time doing it. Right? So I will talk to you all next time. Thank you again for coming in, hanging out, and for putting yourselves out there by bringing up these questions and being able to talk about it. We got to talk about it. All right. Remember again, I am connected, grounded, balanced, protected, and flowing in the love of the divine. All right. Until next time. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you for joining your spiritual counselor, your eyes to the sky, and your internal GPS activator. Join Solana on the next episode of Parascension Radio.